As Russian President Vladimir Putin's attack on Ukraine continues, we're gathering further perspective from a local Russian grocery store and those with loved ones in Ukraine. Here locally, a symbolic gesture from a store that used to sell one particular Russian product. Here's CCX News reporter Jason Malillo.
There was a steady stream of customers at Fruit and Fish European Market in Plymouth on Tuesday morning.
People know we have nothing to do with Russian government.
The call to boycott businesses selling Russian products apparently not having much of an impact.
We have different products. I'm from Ukraine.
If you come into a Russian store, you're not supporting Russian government. You're just supporting local business.
Roger Mamadov and his wife Irina own the market and Paradise Liquors next door.
Now we have Nemira, Ukraine-made vodka.
Roger is from Azerbaijan, but moved to Ukraine as a young man.
I'm from Ukraine, from city Kharkov.
Irina grew up in Kharkov, Ukraine's second largest city, where the fighting has been intense.
No city anymore.
Destroyed.
Destroyed.
And as civilian casualties rise, she's very worried about her friends there.
Terrible situation. Everybody cry. Everybody cry.
I am really concerned because, it's my mom's family.
Customer Olga Karpov has family and friends in Kharkov and Kyiv.
We talked maybe a couple or 3 days ago, but we were not able to speak with my relatives right now, yesterday or the day before.
The call to boycott businesses that sell Russian products is largely symbolic, especially when it comes to vodka. Less than 1% of vodkas consumed in the U.S. actually come from Russia. Still, Paradise Market did remove all Russian vodkas from its shelves.
No normal human being could approve this kind of action, what Russian government does.
And as that aggression continues,
it's hard.
People like Olga Karpov can simply watch and wait and hope. Jason Malillo, CCX News.
This weekend, the first implementation committee meeting on police reform measures was scheduled to take place. The Brooklyn Center City Council approved 10 of those committee members this past week. The committee is charged with rolling out several reform measures approved in the city's budget last December. Those include a new mental health unit and a new civilian traffic enforcement unit. Included on the committee are Katie Wright, the mother of Dante Wright, and Amity Dimmock, whose son was killed by police in 2019. Following a 911 family crisis call. Mayor Mike Elliott will also serve on that committee. While the vote was unanimous on the members selected, there was some concern raised about the absence of young black men on the committee and whether it had enough diversity of opinion. The city of New Hope swore in 2 new officers this week, and another new hire is waiting in the wings. Rajane Michael and Corey Cracknell took the oath to serve the city of New Hope. Michael comes from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, and Corey Cracknell comes from Robbinsdale. Another officer hire, Joshua Arthur, will be sworn in at a later date. The Minnesota State Patrol recognized heroic acts this past week, and that includes a man who stepped in to help a state trooper who was being attacked by a suspect in Brooklyn Center.
I think in our lives, particularly right now, we have very few opportunities to really stop and celebrate good things because our lives are about working on the crisis of the day or the crisis of the moment.
In January 2021, a Good Samaritan named Vincent Williams witnessed a man assaulting a state trooper, pinning him to the ground and trying to get his gun. Williams physically restrained the man and got him to release the firearm.
I will tell you that we and that trooper are extremely thankful that he stopped, helped, didn't hesitate, and had a few choice words for how he was handling the situation for an individual who was intent on either doing significant harm to the trooper or others that day.
The virtual ceremony recognized citizens, troopers, and other public servants. The Northwest suburbs have a new option for people wanting to try food from another culture. Delane Cleveland introduces us to a restaurant started by a Brooklyn Park woman that serves cuisine from the Philippines.
It's all about bringing people together and feeding them.
More than 12,000 miles separate the Twin Cities from the Philippine Islands. But you don't have to hop on a plane to get a taste of the culture.
I noticed that we didn't have any kind of Filipino type food place in the northwest suburbs, north suburbs even. So I thought I'd bring it out here and try it.
Brooklyn Park resident Josie Schutte is the owner and mastermind behind Kumain, which means eat in Tagalog. This Filipino takeout restaurant opened in mid-February inside Champlin's new hometown artisan market.
What is this?
So far, Kumain has been a hit.
It just hits the spot. And it's nice, especially on these really cold days, like home comfort food.
So here's our bread and butter.
The food is somewhat similar to what you'd find at an Asian restaurant, just with a few differences. Take, for instance, egg rolls, which the Filipinos call lumpia. Then there's pancit, which is a noodle dish sautéed with veggies, meat, and spices.
I took our basic menu of what's popular as far as our culture is concerned.
These items are Filipino staples,
Lumpia and pancit.
although customers are still trying to get the hang of the pronunciation.
I've had someone say, can you put up pictures because I don't know what a lapia is? And I'm like, well, it's lumpia. And yeah, we can try that.
Josie first introduced the public to her food last summer. Back then, it was a pop-up restaurant that operated one day a week outside of Brooklyn Park's Prince of Peace Lutheran Church. At the time, Josie's goal was to turn Kumain into a food truck.
So the OG will go in here.
Then this space became available.
It just kind of fell into our laps.
Now, people have a new takeout option to consider when they want to leave the cooking to somebody else.
You don't always have the ability to travel around the world, but you can travel to different restaurants and get a taste of other places around the world.
Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
For the first time in more than a decade, multiple wrestlers from Park Center High School qualified for the state tournament. Among them was senior Ismael Kante, and he's the focus of this week's CCX Sports Spotlight. Here's Jason Malillo.
When Ismael Kante found wrestling,
I see I could beat up kids for fun and not get in trouble.
it was a way to channel his aggression into something positive.
I just fell in love with the grind. It's just different. Blood, sweat, and tears into the sport.
Kante started wrestling for the Pirates as an 8th grader.
He's got that competitor in him. He's got that fire in him.
Now a senior, Kante earned a top 10 ranking at 182 pounds this season and ultimately a spot in the state meet.
It took me until like sophomore year to really develop my style of wrestling and being calm and taking control of the mat, making my opponent do everything that I want them to do, making their attacks my attack, and making my attacks my attacks.
Athletics has been a tool for Kante's progression as a person.
As a young man, I grow a lot through mistakes and stuff. Through making mistakes, I learn from them.
He hates losing and admits to sometimes having difficulty controlling his anger.
We had a little discrepancy in the summer.
It was July 26th at a 7-on-7 camp for Park Center football.
That was a rough day for both of us.
Kante was an aspiring linebacker for the Pirates. He had words with head coach Jordan Salas and was suspended from the team.
But I'm glad he suspended me though, because then I came back, fought for my spot, and then we just became like this. Damn near father son, and we just had a blast this season.
It took till about week 3 of the season for me to really be like, okay, I know I can trust him. It's a kid I need. It's a kid who wants to be here, and then I named him captain.
From there, Kante was a beast for the Pirates.
Oh, and a tackle made.
PC chalked up 8 wins and made it to the section final.
This was a season where the freshmen and the seniors were tight, so we just had that bond in the team that we never had before.
It's been a special season for PC wrestling as well. In addition to Kante, Riley Johnson and Roa Dayton also qualified for state.
We all came a long way. We've been on the same team since freshman year. We've just all been working together in the weight room and the wrestling room, and I'm really proud of everyone who made it.
Kante accepted a scholarship to play football at Northern State University and will likely leave wrestling behind after high school.
He wants to accomplish something greater. He's got a dream and a vision for something bigger than what he can even see right now. He wants to make it to the NFL.
But wherever he goes and whatever he does, Ismael Kante has left an impression on those around him.
He will be in my life forever. The other day he told me, I can't wait to invite you to my wedding.
For the CCX Sports Spotlight, I'm Jason Malillo.
In addition to Kante, Park Center wrestlers Roe Dayton and Riley Johnson also qualified for state, a big point of pride for the Park Center program. The Section Girls Basketball playoffs are underway. Champlin Park was one of the teams looking to advance to the semifinals in Section 5-4A.
Champlin Park hosting Moundsview in the Section 5-4A girls basketball quarterfinals. The Rebels' Michaela Counts knocks down a baseline jumper for two. Off a missed three-point shot, Ava Holman grabs an offensive rebound, dribbles out to the three-point line and nails the triple. Champlin Park leads 16-6. Later in the first half, it's Natalie Warma hitting a three from the wing. Champlin Park leads Moundsview by 11 points at halftime, 36-25. Second half, Moundsview's Yazi Abed grabs the loose ball and takes it all the way for a layup. The junior leads the Mustangs in scoring with 19 points. And then Abed hits a three-pointer. That pulls Moundsview within 4 points, but it's as close as the Mustangs would get. Champlin Park's Alicia Bates with a good lob pass down to Nicole Lillard, who lays it in for two, capping a 7-0 Rebel scoring run. Amelia Valentino with a good entry pass into Counts, who turns and scores. Counts scores 13 points and Bates 16 as Champlin Park wins 63-50. They move on to the Section 5 semifinals next Tuesday night at top-seeded Maple Grove. John Jacobson, CCX Sports.